If you've seen the title of this video, it is My Life is None of My Business. And that's pretty much where I am right now. A lot of people have been asking me what's going on with me, what am I up to, different things like that, because I've been making a lot of shifts lately. And my only honest answer is I don't know. And that my life apparently is none of my business. I've been reviewing my life. I turned 50 a couple months ago, and I know that there were times in my life where I had very defined plans of how I was going to be and who I was going to be and what I thought my life might look like. But time after time, like the Titanic, the universe had other plans. And so my life had to start over again and again and again. And I've started over so many times that I even was going to make a course on how to start your life over again. Many people have asked me, how have you done so many things in your life when you're 50? And my answer has been, I know when to quit. Um, because everything has a season, as it says in El Bible. So I usually try to listen to the seasons of my life. And that's pretty much my plan if I have one. There was a time where I literally got myself where I had zero debt, a year's worth of salary, and had created my life so I could live off of $2,000 a month. And I felt so free and was like, yo, I achieved it. But little did I know a little thing was going to happen called divorce and separation. And I ended up, D near homeless. D stands for damn. And, and I had to start over again. It's a trip. And I said, well, isn't that something? And, I had many, many instances like that. And right now I'm in one of those instances. Uh, I'm talking to you from my car, which is in the driveway of an auto repair shop where I had to get my car towed because my car that's only 5.5 years old has decided to just give up different aspects of its function. It decided that it didn't want to go in reverse anymore. Then it decided that the battery or the alternator or something was going to go out. Like all in the holiday season. Well, the reverse thing happened some months ago, and then yesterday, and I already said, you know what, I'm gonna get this thing fixed, and we're starting to make plans to get it fixed. I actually had a plan to bring in some money to fix it, and the cost was gonna be covered, and that collapsed. So now I got to get it fixed without any way of that I know of to cover it. On top of then the alternator, I was gonna have to put it off a little bit longer. And actually, this was the week that I was gonna get the money to pay it, and had already said I was gonna get this thing paid off and fixed. Then that thing fell through. But yesterday, I guess the car thought it was going to the mechanic anyway because it decided it was going to die. Like, it was like, oh, I'm going to the mechanic. I don't know how you're going to pay for it, but I'm going to the mechanic, bro, or something like that, because that's what happened. And so now I'm here in this parking lot, driveway, laughing to myself because the car is exactly where it was supposed to be, even though I thought I was going to do something different because the money that I was going to pay for it to get fixed fell through. So I said, I'm just going to wait and put it off till the new year. But the car, I guess, said no, because now here it is. I can't control that. And I've had things that you would call positive that's worked out that way, and things that you could call negative that worked out that way. And I don't call them either one. And this morning, I was praying and I said, I don't know what anything is for. I don't know what anything is about. All I know is that there is some loving force in the universe somewhere and everywhere, and I have to trust it no matter what, even if things don't look the way I think they should look. And so that's what I'm in the process of doing and I guess it's giving me opportunities to do it. And like, those of you who've seen a couple of videos before this one, I'm working in a community that someone told me 15 years ago that I should be working in, that I didn't know anything about. And now I'm there. I didn't organize that. That just happened. When I was writing about Oprah on the plane to Japan and ran into Oprah in Japan, I didn't plan that. That just happened. I don't know how these things happen. All I know is that they do, and that there's some formula to it that I cannot put my finger on. But I know that part of that formula is always that it's where I don't think I'm going. It's where I don't want to be, or what I think I don't want to be. Like, I don't think I want to be sitting here at early in the morning getting my car ready to be fixed. And then the mechanic showed up an hour before they were supposed to show up. So that was something that I didn't plan either, but it still happened. And so I have fundamentally decided that my life, hey, Evelyn, I've fundamentally decided that my life is none of my business, that I have to continue to just trust the universe, trust God, trust whatever the language is of the higher intelligence that knows things that I don't know and has me in places that I don't intend to be. And I then see what happens. I'll tell you, hey, good morning, chilly Arizona. I'm in chilly Colorado, probably chillier. But I'll tell you something else. So one time I tested this out when I was living in Arizona, by the way, Evelyn. I was and I just saw some cold air come off my breath when I was talking. I don't know if y'all saw that, but I was living in Arizona, and I used to think that everyone had experiences like how I was having, where I would think something and it would happen, or blah 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 blah. And I'm sure everyone does, and people might just not be paying attention. But it used to be so consistent that I just thought that's how the world works. But no one knew I was talking about, and people thought I was crazy when I was saying it out loud. So one day I said, man, I know that there's something to this that I can't put my finger on. So I just sat still until I felt like I was supposed to get up. Then I just got up. I got in my car, and then yep, I used to live in Massachusetts. Yep. So we got a couple locations in common there, Evelyn. So anyway, so I jumped up out of my car. I got up out of my apartment, got in my car, started driving. Didn't know where I was going, just driving. And just like felt like go here, go there, go here, go there. I end up this random place in Arizona. I don't even know where I was. And this was before GPS. Didn't know where I was. Started driving, came to some random roundabout in a deserty area where there was nothing on either side. Right. And I'm like, where am I? And then someone said, just keep driving in a circle around this roundabout, this little circle thing. So I just did. And it was a big one. It was like some kind of thing in the center, but it was dark, so I couldn't tell what it was. So I'm just driving, don't know what I'm doing. And then all of a sudden, I'm coming around the bend again for I don't know how many times. And then a car stops in front of me. And I didn't even see that car coming. So then that car stops and I stop. The person gets out the car. They got a flat tire. And then I said, oh, do you need some help? They said, where'd you come from? I said, I didn't want to say I was spinning around in a circle just for no reason. So I said, oh, I just coming around the corner and I saw you stop. And I ended up changing that person's tire because they didn't know how to do it. And then changed the tire and they were like, are you an angel or something? And I was like, nah, not that I know of. And then they took off and then I went home. I don't know why that happened. All I know is I was listening to the stillness or the nothingness or whatever it is, found my place, listened, and then that happened. And I said, I knew it. And I again tried to explain to people. Then I just stopped because people were like, man, what are you talking about? And so I stopped talking about this stuff. And like over years and years, I've been like barely saying anything about those things. And when I have those kinds of experiences, I just keep them to myself because I wasn't around people that could hear them or they would just say, oh, that sounds crazy to me. But the Oprah thing, meeting Oprah, Ava DuVernay, and Lashana Lynch all within 10 days in Japan when I was writing a script about all three of them on the plane and seeing all of them in Japan, that was too much. I said, okay, whatever that is, that's a thing. I can't control it. I don't know what it is. I can't plan for it, but I have to accept that every incident in my life is working together, leading up to whatever the other thing is. I have no clue. That's why I'm saying my life is none of my business. So even though I didn't plan on being in this driveway at this auto body shop or mechanic shop this morning, I'm here. And I have to say that I know that it's for some unseen good in whatever my life is. And that may not be comforting to people who need certainty or need to try to figure things out. But I have to tell you, it is the way it is. As I was saying earlier, this morning, I did not plan to be in this spot where I am right now. Yep. Hi, Carolyn. Thanks for joining. And then, yep, all things are indeed working together for our good. I have to accept that that's true, even though I don't understand how it's happening. Even the things that are happening on our national stage, I have to accept that, hey, these are all working together. I don't know how. I'm not trying to be pie in the sky. I've been a social justice type dude for a long time. And all I know is things are going the way they're going. I'm going to respond to things as my spirit leads me to respond to things. But at the same time, I have come to a place where I have to accept that I don't understand how life is unfolding. I don't understand perfect timing. All I know is that it happens. So whatever situation that brought me to this spot where my car is broken down is what it has to be. And as I was saying earlier, Carolyn and Evelyn, my car had a transmission issue, so it wasn't going in reverse. And then I had a situation where I didn't have the money to fix it. I accepted that. Then I got a situation where I was going to get the money to fix it this week. And so I was like, okay, I talked to the guy, said I'm going to try to fix the car. Then the money fell through to fix it. So then I was like, okay, I'm just going to put it off till the new year. But then my car decided it was just going to die yesterday, and I had to get it towed to the place I was going to bring it anyway. And now I just have to bring it here. So I was like, the car was going to be here, but and I decided I wasn't going to bring it here. It's here anyway, regardless of me. The car's like, yo, you said I was going to Marcos. I'm going to Marcos. I'm just dying. You're going to just take me here. I don't know why that happened, but I have to accept it. And I have to accept that it's for good, And so I had a good broken Spanish conversation with the driver on the way here. I got here an hour and a half before the place opened, so I'm just chilling in the cold. I can't feel my fingers, and it's all wonderful. It's all beautiful. Somehow, it's going to be. I don't know how, but I know that everything's connected. So even the things that I don't want in my life are leading to the things that I do want in my life. And I'm not talking about material things. I'm talking about soul things. I believe that soul things are happening and that all things are working together. And that if I let go and release, I'm just going to experience that without my control, just my surrender. So that's going to be reflected in what I write, what I say, and what I share. And I appreciate y'all that are being here with me on the journey. Uh, my wife just pulled up, so I'm finally getting liberated from this frozen car. And I appreciate y'all, love y'all, and be well and look for the good because it's looking for you. Peace.